We have learned more about how a family of four died in their home near Harrow. Police were called to the Walsh family home 2.5 weeks ago. They went to check on the well being of the family. And on the weekend, OPP Sergeant Ed Sanchuk posted a video on social media to explain the cause of the death. Here's part of what he said.
Investigators have determined the cause of death for the four individuals in a death investigation in Harrow. Postmortem examinations have determined the cause of death as gunshot wounds. 41-year-old Carly Standard Walsh, 13-year-old Madison Walsh, and 8-year-old Hunter Walsh. The cause of death for 48-year-old Stephen Walsh has been determined as a self-inflicted gunshot wound. The initial investigation has determined that this is a case of intimate partner violence. And intimate partner violence is a serious, prevalent problem in Ontario. The OPP encourages anyone who's experiencing intimate partner violence to contact police at your local Ontario Victim Services branch and to develop a safety plan. And for anyone that may be aware of anyone suffering from intimate partner violence, have that courage to reach out to get them some help.
That's OPP Sergeant Ed Sanchuk. He posted that video on social media on the weekend to explain the cause of the deaths of the four people near Harrow. Now, Fartuma Kuso knows far too well how intimate partner violence devastates an entire family and community at large. More than a year ago, her daughter, Surabule, was killed. Her estranged husband is currently in jail and charged for the death. Kuso joins me in the studio. Good morning.
Good morning, Amy.
So take me to the moment when you heard how the family died in Harrow.
They didn't really say how they died, but they said, they were found in a home, and they didn't say the ages and all that, but it was clear it was family, including children. And I remember joining that community where we had like light a candle event. It was this gut feeling that this is like all the other tragedies could have been avoided. Just imagine a 13-year-old and 8-year-old. And we just lost children in Sault Ste. Marie a few months ago. And it's just devastating in the tragedy it leaves behind, and the fact that we don't know the details of this case. We don't know if there were the police or the community were aware of pre-existing violence. We don't know that. Police are investigating and hopefully will figure it out. But the challenge is that these are pervasive. They're not one and done events, and we know that. And it could have been prevented, and we could predict it and see it. So it's just this feeling of this again. Are we dealing again? Especially when we have those babies that are involved.
What was it like for you to go to the vigil?
It was really hard and contemplating whether you go to the vigil or you don't go to the vigil. It's like this whole idea, and then you just go to the vigil and show community. I didn't know this particular family like intimately myself, but it's just the loss of reading about the mother and how involved she was in the community and those two children. I just needed to be there, to be part of that community. I'm often not sure if that will bring anything or if that will do anything, but it's just more to just show up and be seen.
I can imagine a lot of it also brings back those memories of Sahara.
Yeah, I remember when I saw it, I went back because I have her last texts that she sent me. I kept on rereading those texts and kind of like looking at, and her birthday, her 38th birthday is coming up soon in August. So it's just looking back and thinking, all the things. And for me, it's still as a mother, I know she was an adult. I know it wasn't really, partly was out of my control mostly, but it's just things you ask yourself, what could have been done? What could have been said to save? And just our government kind of still insisting on not taking the actions that needed to support. And the greatest challenge is even after the tragedy is done, there is really not much support for those that are left behind. That's the greatest tragedy of it all. The sergeant officer who reported it admittedly said that it's a public issue, and to report it. But it's great to report it. But sometimes I'm finding out as I go through this process that even reporting it just doesn't really get you anywhere,
results.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What would you say to the family? Because everything you said, I can imagine the family is feeling the exact same way.
Yes.
What
Es-
do you
especially
wish someone would have said to you in that time?
just to tell me they see me, offer me support, explain to me how the process works, what's to come. Because in this case, the person we think is perpetrator took his own life, so there might not be any trial or court case or things like that. But it's just having the support for the family to go through this grieving process, because it's not the same grieving process of losing 3 family members all at once, 2 of them children that have, or their only crime was they had been born to that particular family. So it's finding support for the family and walking with them and telling them we see you, we hear you, and offering support. People think there is support. You call the police and everything is perfectly done magic, but there is really no support in Ontario.
Yeah. I imagine you going to the vigil sort of allowed that, right? Like that's
Yeah.
a way to say, we see you, we're here with you.
But there are so many questions left behind for those that are left behind. And there are so much doubt, and there are so much feeling of guilt of things that they could have done or said or questioning about themselves. And I think that's where we need the help with the family left behind.
I know you can't say much about your case, but where are things at right now?
We just finished a preliminary hearing on June 28th. And the preliminary hearing is basically to decide what charge Crown has enough evidence to go through trial. And we will hear the judge's decision in August the 8th of what she's going to commit him into charge. And the best case scenario, the trial will be early 2026. And that's the best case scenario.
August 2026.
Winter of 2026, the
Winter
best
of
case
2026.
scenario, because the courts are backlogged and like all the other public systems.
Yeah. And will you be in the courtroom every day?
I am not in the courtroom because I might be a witness or something. So I'm always sitting outside, but I'm always in the hallway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure I'll be right there with you. Thanks so much, Vertumo.
Thank you so much.